There is a massive transition in your financial system right before your eyes. And I'm going to break down why silver and gold is skyrocketing right now. And my whole goal is to educate you at a deep level to understand the word currency. You are trained to get paid in income. You trade labor for income, which is debt. You take that debt and you buy more debt. It's backwards. We should be creating income into cash flow, into assets that beat inflation because of things like this. It is not our grandparents and our parents' economy. So I'm going to break down what I believe is going to happen from 2026 to 2030. My prediction, not financial advice. I'm only going to break down exactly what I'm doing. What I'm encouraging you to do is do your own research because you don't need the next best crypto, the next best investment. You need a system. Money moves through the system based on micro and macroeconomic factors. Why is gold and silver at an all-time high? Why are central banks stacking money? Simply because of the massive uncertainty around the world. People are responding to the exposure of systems, the absolute uncertainty with all the moves that Trump is making. It's freaking people out around the world. They don't understand the moves that he's making around the micro and macroeconomic. So people move to defense. Things like silver, gold. And yes, I believe silver is going to continue to go up. I believe gold's going to continue to go up. I am personally dollar cost averaging into silver, personally dollar cost averaging into copper. I stack my insurance. Those are my defense mechanisms. And I'm dollar cost averaging in Bitcoin. So my safety is insurance, Bitcoin, silver, copper, and Berkshire. That's defense. It's not or, it's and. And I'm focused on buying people's fear as people run to defense. The big money escapes the markets. They go into gold and silver. And the reason why they're at an all-time high is absolute uncertainty. Central banks are stacking. People are stacking. Wealth is moving. People are panicking. The offensive side, which goes up and down, they're moving their currency into safety. So it's not or for me, it's and. But when the offensive side, cryptocurrencies, stocks bleed, I buy the fear in the fundamental assets that I believe are going to be here for the new monetary system. My zone of competency is financial services. So I stick with things I understand. My zone of competency is digital assets. I understand the future monetary change is going to be crypto and blockchain based on my zone of competency. So I'm not trying to figure it all out. I'm just sticking with what I know. So what you're going to see from 2026 to 2030 is you're going to see the Clarity Act come in. You're going to see the very banks that told you cryptocurrency is a fraud asking to custody your crypto. They're going to package it up and exchanges are not safe. It's going to be institutional grade custody, maybe some sort of like FDIC insurance. They are going to be encouraging you to come into ETFs because most people aren't going to want to hold their own crypto. So the very banks that told you to run from crypto are going to be encouraging you to put some of your assets in crypto. Your asset managers are going to encourage 1% to 4%, maybe in Bitcoin, Solana, XRP, Ethereum. And here's the key factor to not get wrecked. There's not the next best crypto. These influencers, oh, the next best thing that's going to make you a multimillionaire. They're full of shit. They're going to get you wrecked. Not the next best coin. Get out of the meme coin. Get out of the hype. That's the era that's dying. Get out of price predictions. Get out of hopium. Get a solid portfolio in the top 10 that you understand. Set it, DCA into it, and hold the line. This is the era of discipline and consistency. The hype era is dead. I'll remind you one more time. Any influencer out there, it's the next best crypto, the next best thing. Please, that's not how investing is done. Think of Ray Dalio, think of Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, Cathie Woods, Robert Kiyosaki. Do you think they're sitting there watching an influencer and going, oh, I caught the next best crypto, got some insight? Nobody has insight. The elites aren't telling influencers on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Get 1 million views a day across all our platforms. Ain't nobody telling me the inside scoop, guys. And if they're telling an influencer, they're telling them to direct people the wrong way. This stuff is much deeper than us, guys. But it's very easy to see economic cycles. I'm just doing the best guess I can, and we've nailed it. So 2026 to 2030, your banks are going to custody your crypto. They're going to invite you to get into crypto. You're going to start to see AI technology completely take over, which is going to operate on blockchain. And after 2030, you're going to see the full transition into a system. Billionaires are going to become trillionaires. Multimillionaires are going to become billionaires. And being a millionaire isn't going to mean anything. And the wealth gap is going to become effing massive. The middle class is going to get wiped out towards technology, moving down to the working poor. There's going to be wealthy and the working class. The middle class is a new concept. So how do you transition through that? Systems, not hype, not the next best crypto, a system. So capital DR, I'm revolutionizing how people think about finances. It's a system, not an investment. It helps you beat macro, microeconomics, and inflation. C is cash flow. You need to turn your income into more cash flow. What we do is we take our income, which is we need to trade labor for income, which is debt. There's no real money in the system. And what you do is you get more debt because you can't afford the current car that you have, and you give away future labor. You're in a debt trap. So you need to get as debt free as possible, take your income, which is debt, and turn it into cash flow. So then you take income and cash flow and you don't buy debt to keep the banks wealthier. You take the income and cash flow and you buy assets, offensive, that beat inflation. You have to decide. Mine are XRP, Bitcoin, WLFI, Solana. Those are my top 4. We got VeChain, HBAR, XLM. Now I have many others, but I'm going to consolidate it into XRP, Bitcoin, WFI, and Solana. You do you, boo-boo. Stock side, XRP. Shout out to my boy Jeff. He always says that. I forgot where it was at. Oh, on the stock side, XXI, ABTC, American Bitcoin, both Bitcoin treasuries, and one's Bitcoin mining. That's assets. That's A. Defensive, insurance, cash value life insurance, silver, copper, Berkshire, and Bitcoins in defense. I'm never selling my Bitcoin. And all I do is sit back. And today is January 26, 2026. I'm buying everybody's fear. And it's not or, I'm and buying silver, copper, Berkshire. It's and. I buy the fear and I'm stacking defense. I'm going a little bit heavier in defense because of the economic cycle, and I have a good amount of crypto and a good amount of stocks. Feel pretty decent with my offense. I'm getting a little more weighted on the defense. Again, it's not or, it's and. Then when the A goes parabolic, hell yeah, I get money off the table. Remember, there'll be another 10, 10, 20, 25. Anybody telling you to give your crypto to them and to leverage it, or leveraging your crypto, don't do it, guys. Don't, unless you're a professional and you understand exactly what you're doing. I only leverage to buy cash flow and assets that I guarantee will be able to pay off that leverage. Don't get caught up in the bullshit. Crypto's way too volatile to leverage. Unless you're really, really heavily weighted in assets on the outside that you can right size that leverage if it comes collapsing down. Because there will be other 10, 10, 25s. There will be other black swans. There will be major market pullbacks. And if you don't have a defensive plan or a capital DR system, DR is de-risk, 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 be American, de-risk. Come on, man. It's the greatest time in human history. Get your shit together, spiritually, physically, and financially. I know, I'm selling you discipline. I'm selling you consistency. It's not fun, but it works. I love you guys. Warriors, rise! Get your shit together. Hey, click my bio if you need any support. Get thousands of messages trying to keep up with them. Just click my bio here on whatever social media platforms. Tons of support. Love you guys.